What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracka. I'm wearing my Superman hat today. My hair is still crazy, but got a little bit of a review for you, and got a cool package from here on Hunt 81, which I'm going to go into. I had a very interesting day yesterday. Forgot to go into it because it was kind of funny. My fiance and I went to go see a haunted house. Wasn't that great. I thought it was going to be a lot funnier than it was. But one thing we were laughing at, which is probably disturbing to most people, but we're in this theater, and of course there's the delinquents, all the annoying pain in the ass, 13, 14-year-old kids in a rated R movie, whatever. But what made us laugh is that there were so many parents in the theater with like 8 to 10-year-old kids seeing a rated R movie. I'm like, wow, really? This is what you're gonna bring your kid to? Anyway, just wasn't that great. It wasn't worth seeing in the theaters because it just wasn't that funny. I mean, it had its moments, a couple funny parts here and there, and you laughed, and I'm kind of like, alright, but just afterwards we decided to go to the Outback restaurant. Figure what the hell. We really don't go out that much, all that much anymore. We're just kind of like, I don't know. We're getting old, so we're like, we just don't want to do anything anymore. But we're not that old, actually. That's what's kind of scary. But went to the Outback, and it was like the trip from hell, man. The dinner from hell. We're sitting there, and it took forever to get like a table, which is like, all right, it's Saturday night, happens. We're like, okay. And then we get this really crazy corner table, and of course next to us is like the family from hell. I don't know what was going on. It looked like this kid was going out with this girl, and he was trying to hook his father up with her mother. That's what I was just weird, and it was just loud as hell. Like every single thing they said, it was like in your ear, and you're like, come on, man, shut up, Jesus, take it down a notch. Which wasn't the bad part. We're like, all right, whatever. We get our stuff, or eat the food, which was wasn't bad. But the table in back of us had a little like it's like a 2-year-old kid with them. Now I didn't get pissed because it wasn't it was an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault or whatever. But we're sitting there, and I'm sitting here, my fiance's over here, and the table in back of us, after the table next to us left, the lady comes over, cleaned the entire table, did it really well too. I have to give the lady credit, waitress or whoever it was. And 2 seconds later, the table in back of us, I don't know what they did, gave their kid, or the kid grabbed the ketchup bottle thing, the squeeze thing, and it just went, well, bam, and it was pointed, towards me. All of a sudden, I hear, and my entire back was covered in ketchup. This kid shot the entire bottle out. Like, it was, the table next to us was covered in ketchup. The whole table, the chair in back, like, say I'm facing, whatever, but you get the point. It was like all over the sides of our table. It was all like next to my fiance, all over the place. I took the brunt of it, and my fiance she can't stand like condiment stuff, like mustard, ketchup. It just freaks her out. I don't know what, she doesn't like it, and makes her sick. She gets all, she's like, getting all choked up and stuff. And what got me is, like I said, it was an accident. I knew it was a kid that did it, and he's laughing his ass off. But what pissed me off is that the parents, not one word about, oh my God, we're sorry, he got the bottle away from us, or whatever. Nothing. Just went about their business like nothing happened. And I'm like, really? I could have turned around and flipped out, but I didn't. I'm like, you know what? It's a little kid. He did it. It was an accident. But like I said, the thing that just pissed me off is that there was no apology. There was no, nothing. Just, well, whatever. It's like, really? Like, I'm not going to notice I'm covered in ketchup? And my fiance, we get up to leave, and I turn around, and she's like, because like I said, it gets her sick. I was literally covered in it, and I'm like, oh man. But I came home, which sucked ass, because I couldn't do it. So I'm like, she was like, like paper towels, like getting all the ketchup off my back. She's like, I'm sitting in my car like that. She was mad. She had all the windows down because the smell of ketchup just freaks her out, like I said. And she was like, oh my God. And she was, oh man, it was crazy. But I get home, and the cool thing is I had a package from Hero Hunter 81, so it made it all worth it, which I'm going to show. But let me do my review real fast. Got a chance to read Batman Detective Comics number 16. death in the family thing, which had absolutely nothing to do with the Joker, which was a little disappointing. But it had to do with, like, I guess his methods and what he does to people, like ordinary people and stuff. Batman was chasing around like this League of Smiles, they're called, through the entire thing. It wasn't bad. It just, like, it's just weird. Like when you get a comic, you're like, oh, what's he gonna do now? It's got nothing to do with him. Actually, also before I get into the review thing, I want to thank a new subscriber I have, Super AF. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get this wrong. Super AF15. Yeah, I said it right. I had it written down. Weird. I want to thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Now moving on to another review. I read Amazing Spider-Man 279. Give some back issues here. And this doesn't have Spider-Man in it at all. Obviously, this is Where is Spider-Man. It's basically a fight between Jack-O-Lantern and Silver Sable, which was pretty cool because the back issues and stuff from the '80s, they rocked. Most of the stories were simple, but they were just awesome. Moving on, Amazing Spider-Man number 291. This is the issue after Peter Parker proposed to Mary Jane, where this issue she says no. He's kind of like disappointed. He's like, what are you doing? What do you mean? And she's just like, I just can't do it. And she flies to Pittsburgh or somewhere. And he stays to fight like this giant spider slayer. And what's interesting is that later on, towards the end of the book, Mary Jane just can't stand where, not just stand where she is, but she wants Peter's help, and she calls him up. And she's like, I really need you to come get me and stay with me and all this stuff. And Peter's like, oh, yeah, I don't know what I gotta do. She needs me, but the Spider Slayer, I gotta take care of the Spider Slayer. And the Spider Slayer was kind of honing in on where Peter Parker lived. So it shows up at his apartment, and he's gone. He's on a flight. And so he made the right decision. He went to go help Mary Jane instead of sticking around. But moving on to Amazing Spider-Man 383, 384, and 385, which is one story, which is an artist I totally forgot about, which is bad me, but Mark Bagley, man, I forgot he was one of my favorite Spider-Man artists, man. He draws Spider-Man awesome. Really, really detailed. He doesn't look like an alien. He's well proportioned. His legs are ripped. His, body's ripped. His costume's really, really detailed. And just an awesome artist. You take a look at it. The guy takes his time with Spider-Man. That's what you got to do. And you can see he's not, over proportioned in certain areas. His arms aren't longer than anything else. But moving on. Basically, the point of this is this jury gets hired to take out Spider-Man because they believe that he's responsible for Venom and Carnage. And then in this one, they kind of go over the same thing, like, you brought Venom here, Venom made Carnage, Carnage killed all these people we know, and, whole big thing, and Spider-Man's kind of like, yeah, it is my fault, and, they're like, oh, we're going to kill you now, and he's like, alright, go ahead, kill me, and then, like, they want him to go get instead they want him to get, like, this teleportation weapon that's going to teleport Venom, or whatever it is, and he agrees, but then he finds out they're trying to kill Venom, and he's like, I can't do that, and that's in this one, he kind of switches. Also in this thing, it has Mary Jane's addiction to cigarettes. She was like worried about Peter being Spider-Man, so she started up smoking. And in the end of this, she quits because he brings her to meet Nick Katzenberg, who, if you read Spider-Man, knows he's a real dick. And he apparently has cancer from smoking. He's like all rotted out and stuff. And she's just like flips out and crunches her cigarettes and throws it away. But yeah, they weren't too bad. Like I said, these are the ones, a lot of ones I missed, especially in '94. I missed like the entire year of '94 and '95, and most of '96. But moving into something cool, which I have to give many thanks to Hero 181. Not going to show the address or anything, but so the box came in. The man knows how to tape. Very, very secure. Hero 181. I won his contest. I came in second place, which is awesome. Never won anything, so it was, I was really stoked and excited. I'm like, yeah, oh my god, I won something, woohoo! And of course, when I came home from the living hell, seeing a package, I'm like, woohoo, yeah, almost threw a little dance, a little jig. So I want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. It's awesome stuff, which I'm gonna show. Let's do that now. I got X-Force number 1, never been opened. Very cool. It's got the card and stuff in there. Warlord of Mars. This is John Carter, King Size Annual number 1. Very, very cool. Spider-Woman #1. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos #46. Very, very cool. I kind of like this bag. Very interesting. And last but not least, Adventure Comics featuring Superboy #358. Awesome stuff. Very, very cool. My fiance thought I bought this stuff on eBay. She's like, "You bought that stuff?" I'm like, "No, I want it." "You want it?" And I was like, "I told you I won a contest." "Oh yeah." Never listens. Never listens to me. But yeah, Hero Hunter 81, man. He made that stuff secure. You know, put the stuff in there, taped it to the box, taped the box really well. Again, man, I just want to really thank you for sending the stuff out and having the contest in the first place. Very, very cool. And I'm going to keep your address on file just in case I want to send you something. So don't mind me. If you get something in the mail, I'm like, "Hey, what the hell?" No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think that was about it. Yeah, no real rant or anything today. I know I did my ranting on the last video. I'm all ranted out. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate the comments and everything. And I have a lot more, let's say subscriptions, a lot more packages coming my way. I had, well, pretty much the last of the stuff I ordered from Midtown Comics. I'm going to wait on. I have about, I think, 2 back issue shipments coming in eventually. And then I think I have 2 more new releases, and then I'm pretty much done with Midtown. So next, well, I think this Wednesday, I think I'm going to try to go. My friend told me of another comic book store that's not too far away. It's a little out of my way, but he's like, you know, they're pretty cool. You know, it's a good store. Check it out. They always have new releases. He's like, they don't do he's like, they have pull lists and stuff. He's like, but they always have extra stuff. And he's like, that's the only place I go. And he goes, it's worth it. He's like, they open early. They open at 8, which is pretty cool, 8 in the morning. And he's like, all the stuff's already stocked by then. He's like, so, you know, check them out. So Wednesday, I might actually have a Wednesday haul if I get anything from this place. And he also said they have a huge back issue selection, especially with Spider-Man. He said he was there yesterday, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I was looking for you. He's like, but I don't know which ones you need. He's like, but a lot of their Spider-Man stuff, he goes, is really, really cheap. And he was telling me, which I was thinking about. I'm not 100% sure because I know my fiance would kick my ass, but we were discussing it. He said behind the counter, he's like, you know, where they have the really expensive books. He said they have Amazing Spider-Man #4, which is the first Sandman, for about $150. And I was like, ooh, I was like, you know, what kind of condition? He's like, oh, he's like, to me, he's like, it looked really good. He's like, but I don't know. He's like, I didn't check it out. He's like, I just saw the cover. He's like, and the cover was perfect. He's like, there was no, you know, from what I could see, he's like, there was no marks, really. He's like, there was no folds, no bends, no rips, and nothing. He's like, but like I said, he's like, I didn't check it out. And he said they had, which is a little expensive, so I don't think I'm going to be getting it, but he said they had the Amazing Spider-Man #14, which is the first Green Goblin. They had 2 of them. They had one that was ungraded that they wanted $350 for. So I don't know. And then they had one that was a 9.8, and they wanted, I think, like $700 or $800 for it. I'm like, wow. But he's like, hey, he's like, they really do have a lot of Spider-Man stuff. He's like, check them out. He's like, the only ones, just tell me some of the stuff that he saw, and I think they had Amazing Spider-Man #50. I think it was like $200. I'm like, oh my god, it's like rough. But who knows? Maybe my fiance will be nice and she'll let me get my the Amazing Spider-Man #4, which would be awesome because it'd be the oldest Spider-Man I would have, and it's the first appearance of Sandman, so I'd be that much closer. Especially if I get a good deal on that, because that is a pretty good deal for that book if it's in good shape. But who knows? When I go on Wednesday, I'll check it out, see if they still have it, #1, and then see what they got. But we'll see how it goes. I just want to tell everyone that it's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it. Later.